Life is a journey with many paths. Every road we take teaches us something new. Let's start today's journey. The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates. Metaphors are comparisons that help us make sense of abstract concepts by relating them to more familiar or tangible things. The story. The complex paths of shadows. In a town nestled between towering mountains and dark forests, there lived a young girl named Melody. The town was ordinary, but there was one thing that made it unique: a vast, ancient complex paths hidden deep within the woods. The complex paths was a place of mystery and fear, where no one dared to enter. It was said that those who ventured inside never returned. Melody was a curious soul, always asking questions and seeking answers. Yet, despite her curiosity, she was terrified of the complex paths. She heard stories of how it consumed those who entered, trapping them forever in its winding paths. So, like everyone else, she avoided it, choosing instead to live her life within the safe confines of the town. As Melody grew older, she noticed that the people around her seemed content with their lives. They followed the same routines day in and day out, never questioning the world beyond the town's borders. But Melody couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to life than what she could see. One day, while walking near the edge of the forest, she met an old man sitting on a fallen tree. His eyes sparkled with a wisdom that intrigued her. She asked him about the complex paths. "The complex paths is a mirror of the soul," he said. "Those who enter it must confront their deepest fears and desires. It is not the complex paths that traps them, but their refusal to face themselves." Melody was silent, pondering his words. "But what if they get lost?" The old man smiled gently. "Getting lost is the first step to being found. The complex paths reveals what you do not see about yourself. It is a journey not just through the maze, but through your own mind." That night, Melody couldn't sleep. The old man's words echoed in her mind. She realized that while the town provided safety, it also offered a life of unchallenged routines and unexamined thoughts. She had been avoiding the complex paths out of fear, but now she understood that by doing so, she was also avoiding herself. The next morning, Melody made a decision. She would enter the complex paths. The townspeople tried to dissuade her, warning her of the dangers, but she was resolute. As she stepped into the complex paths, she was enveloped in darkness. The wall seemed to shift and change with every step she took. But as she walked, she began to see glimpses of her past, her fears, her dreams, all the things she had buried deep within her. She faced moments of doubt and fear, but she pressed on, determined to understand herself. The complex paths tested her, but it also revealed her strength. Days, or perhaps weeks, passed. Time lost its meaning within the maze. Finally, Melody reached the heart of the complex paths, a quiet, open space bathed in soft light. In the center stood a mirror. As she gazed into it, she saw herself, not just as she was, but as she could be. She saw her flaws, her fears, but also her potential and courage. The reflection smiled back at her, and in that moment, Melody understood. The complex paths was not a trap, it was a teacher. It had shown her that living without self-examination was like wandering in darkness, never truly knowing oneself. With this newfound wisdom, Melody found her way out of the complex paths, emerging stronger and more self-aware. When she returned to the town, she was different. The same routines no longer satisfied her, and she began to explore new paths in life. She shared her journey with others, encouraging them to face their own complex paths. And though many were still afraid, a few followed her example, stepping into the unknown to find themselves. For they had learned that the unexamined life, though safe and easy, was not worth living. It was only through the courage to face oneself that true life began. Life is a journey, and every path we take brings us closer to understanding. Along the way, there are lessons to be learned and experiences to be shared. If today's journey inspired you, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to join us on every new adventure. Together, let's explore the paths ahead. Thanks for watching.